Welcome. My name is Susan Grossman, and I'm the director of the UBC Community Learning Initiative, and I have the honor and pleasure of being your host and MC this afternoon. So thank you all for being here. Yes, you can clap. Feel free to clap for any of our presenters at any time. It's very relaxing when you do that. Otherwise, it's a little nerve-wracking. So please react to the jokes and clap in the appropriate places, and everything will be great. This year's Reading Week 2012, is our 11th year. So just take a moment to think about where you were 11 years ago. For me, in the past 11 years, I've lived in 4 different cities, 3 in the US, 1 in Canada. I've seen my baseball team win the World Series twice, Boston Red Sox, go Sox. I've since become a Canadian citizen, and I've, in all this time, gotten a few more gray hairs. So 11 years is quite a long time. So to really keep that effort going, it really takes a lot of commitment from everyone involved, including those of you in this room today who are participating in Reading Week and those of you who are helping to put on Reading Week. So thank you for that. A couple of details about this year's Reading Week. We have 22 projects at 18 locations, and we have over 400 students who are participating, which is a pretty huge number. So just look around the room and think about you're one of a large group of people who are doing this. So you're part of a collective effort, and there's a lot more we can get done as a collective than we can individually. So thank you for being part of that. Thank you for clapping. Yes, thank you. So speaking of collective efforts, this would not be possible without the support of some other UBC partners, corporate partners, our volunteers. So I want to take a minute to recognize everyone who's been involved. From student development and organizational development leadership, both have been really integral units at UBC, helping us to train our project leaders and our student leaders and helping to get that process off the ground. So thank you to both of them. And I think there's some people here, Tracy Rollins and Maura, they're here, they're in the back. If you see them, thank them. I want to thank our funders, including SAP. They fund Reading Week. They offer financial support. And HSBC Bank Canada, that offers support to our school programs. So they're not here today, but we should still recognize and thank them. Thank you. I want to thank some Reading Week alum who have come back to actually talk to each of your groups about their experience in Reading Week. Some of the alum are alums of Reading Week, some are alums of UBC. There are different ways that they've been engaged, either as project leaders or as students. And so that'll be great to hear from them. And last, but certainly not least, I want to thank all of our volunteers in the green jackets. So if you see a green jacket, that person has been really integral in making this happen. So we've got students, we've got staff. So thank you, green jacketed people, our project leaders, our student leaders, and I'd say most importantly, Angeli De La Rosa, who is somewhere in the room. Angeli. I don't know where she is, but, oh, she's in the very back. She is the Uber Reading Week coordinator and has put all of this together. So, Angeli, thank you for all that. So, now on to the actual speaking program, the heart and soul of the program, and our esteemed guests. Our first speaker, Dr. Louise Cowin, is the Vice President of Students here at UBC. She has the responsibility for shaping the student experience and the broad learning environment for all students. Before UBC, she was the warden of Hart House at U of T and the director of student services and the school university partnership office at Ontario Institute for Studies in Education, also at U of T. That's a mouthful, Louise. She holds a PhD in Educational Studies from McGill University, a Master's in Science and Physical Education from Dalhousie University, and a BA Honors in Educational and Sports Studies from Borough Road Physical Education College. We are thrilled she's here today, and even more thrilled she's here at UBC. So thank you, Louise. Come on up.
Thanks, Susan, and hi everyone, and thank you for the warm welcome. I actually am undeserving of my green jacket today. I came in a blue one, but I acquired this one in the few minutes that I've been here. I'm delighted to be here with all of you, and I have to say that looking out at the crowd affirms for me that UBC is a place filled with students, staff, faculty, and alumni who are committed committed to bettering UBC, committed to a curiosity and a thirst for understanding, and committed to both the application and attainment of knowledge achieved in partnership with our community collaborators beyond the geographic boundaries of UBC campus. Thank you for this commitment. You have been well trained, Susan, thank you. Universities, including UBC, have an integral role to play in the maintenance of civil and sustainable societies. Indeed, our current president, Professor Stephen Toop, has led the university's commitment in this regard. And these principles are cornerstones of the UBC vision, which states, and I quote, "As one of the leading universities, the University of British Columbia creates exceptional learning environment that fosters global citizenship, advances a civil and sustainable society," and goes on to say supports outstanding research for the people of British Columbia, Canada, and the world. Vis-à-vis this commitment, UBC dedicates resources that support and enhance public understanding of societal issues and stimulates action for positive change. The University Community Leadership Initiative, the unit responsible for planning Reading Week, is one of the most important manifestations of the community's commitment to this goal. And I too want to recognize Anjali and all of those who are wearing the green jackets, who deserve them, for the outstanding work they do. So once again, for Rosalie and the green jackets. Reading Week itself and your participation in it is a manifestation of the university's vision to enhance a civil and sustainable society and stimulate action for positive change. You, therefore, are critical community engagement ambassadors, and I thank you. Throughout Reading Week, you will be asked to work in partnership with your community hosts. Together, you will work creatively towards the resolution of complex community-based challenges. Through this experience, you will be challenged to grapple with questions of power, marginalization, social location, and your role in society. To be most successful, you will need to remain open and curious to community-held knowledge. You will need to understand, as likely many of you already do, that you are surrounded by knowledge and expertise. I dare say that the experiences you're about to encounter will shift something inside you. How? I cannot say. For each of you, this will be a unique journey that will take you to places both expected and not. For some of you, this may be the first time you are challenged to reassess strongly held assumptions. For others of you, this will feel more familiar. Whichever point on the spectrum you find yourself, welcome it. It is through your reflections and these experiences that you will succeed in not only understanding yourself better, but you will also gain a better understanding of your role in the community. Remember that just as the university is not isolated from the community, neither should your Reading Week experience be isolated from your academic and personal experiences here at UBC. Please bring those changes and those learnings back with you to UBC, to the classroom, onto the field, or into the club meetings. Let us benefit from the knowledge that you gain. Just as many of you are new to Reading Week, so am I. Having arrived here at UBC in mid-October, this is my first Reading Week, and it's my first chance to experience what it means for 400 members of UBC's community working together to effect change. I will visit those of you at Queen Alexandra, Mount Pleasant, and Britannia Elementary Schools during Reading Week, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in action and also to learning from you about your experiences. So I encourage you to embrace all that your experiences will bring. All the spaces into which you will enter are fertile ground for further understanding yourselves. Adopt a self-aware consciousness and pay particular quality of attention to how you are engaged. Survey your inner landscape as well as the outer. What does it feel like? What does it sound like? What are you thinking? What comes up for you? Pay attention to your emotional responses. In closing, I'll leave you with an insight about the benefit of community engagement from Dr. Dorothy Height, President and CEO of the National Council of Negro Women. who said, "Without community service, we would not have a strong quality of life. It's important to the person who serves as well as the recipient. It's the way in which we ourselves grow and develop." All the best. Thank you for giving me your time. Thank you for the time that you will give during Reading Week. I know you'll be richly rewarded. Thanks.
Our next speaker, Birgid Lehman, is we're really fortunate to have her. This is the third time she's been participating in Reading Week as a project partner. She's been a teacher with Vancouver School Board for many years, since 1988. She taught computers, grades 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 7th. She's worked with gifted children. For the last 18 years, she's worked in inner city schools, first at Nightingale Elementary and now at Thunderbird Elementary, where she's the inner city project teacher, and many of you are going to be going there, 45 of you actually, to Thunderbird to work with Birgid and her fellow teachers. In addition to being a Reading Week veteran, she's a UBC alum. She received her Master's in Administration and Leadership in 2006 from the university, and I really can't stress enough how important her role in Reading Week is and her role as a partner. So I want to thank her for staying involved, being involved, and coming here to speak to you today.
On behalf of all of the inner city project schools, I would like to thank you all for taking 3 days from your reading break to work with our wonderful inner city children. The Vancouver Inner City Project was established in 1988 to provide support and services to children who face obstacles to succeed at school for economic and social and related social reasons. The Inner City Project has 3 mandates: to enhance language development, to enhance social development and self-esteem of students, to develop parent and community involvement. To support these goals, the schools have an additional staff, a teacher, that's me, a staff assistant, a neighborhood assistant who works with the parents, and a youth and family worker who works on helping the students with their social development. Currently, there are 15 designated inner city project schools located throughout Vancouver. Our schools are a hub of activities. School begins for some children at 8 o'clock with a breakfast program. My school just started 3 days ago. Teachers have commented that some of our most tardy students were actually on time this week. At recess, teachers regularly hand out snacks, much of which they purchase on their own. Lunch is a nutritious hot lunch program prepared by a food worker and served by the intermediate students. This ensures that all children have at least one hot meal a day. On Fridays at Thunderbird School, a donation of Cobb's bread provides 50 students with a loaf of bread for the weekend. A generous donation of blessings in a backpack ensures that 20 of our most vulnerable students have some food for the weekend. Once a month at my school, we're fortunate to have a donation from the Vancouver Farmers Market, which gives us fruit and vegetables. Again, 50 families get a bag of produce. In this way, we can support the families, many of them who regularly use the food bank. Not only do we feed children, we also clothe them. We have a New to You program from clothing donated to the school, and it allows the children and their families to take what they need: shoes, pants, shirts, for all family members. During the winter, we collect coats to provide students with warm coats and boots. This all happens because we recognize that our students can't learn if they are hungry or cold. Family issues include language barriers, working class poor, and substance abuse problems. How do those families manage? Let me tell you about my school, Thunderbird School. This school is across the street from Vancouver's largest housing project. 60% of the students speak English as a second language, and in fact, in our kindergarten class of 15 students, there are 11 different languages spoken. 1/5 of our students receive either learning assistance or have special learning needs. 35% of the families are dependent on income assistance. 25% of our families have a gross income of less than $20,000 per year. And 17% of our parents are unemployed. Many of our students are from single-parent families. 50% of the parents have less than a grade 12 education. We have the second highest number of vulnerable families in the Vancouver School District. 132 out of 295 students are classified by the ministry as being vulnerable. Sounds bleak, right? But no. Our students are resilient. They love being at school. It is their safe haven. I feel it's part of our mandate to offer these wonderful children as many opportunities through field trips, presentations in school, meeting other adults, and introducing the children to different activities and experiences. Who knows what's going to click with them? That's where you fit in. I want them to realize that they too can go beyond high school. You wonderful people, it is your mission to connect with them, to spark them, to inspire them, to show them kindness and understanding. I have two experiences with Reading Week. In my first experience, I watched students together with UBC students creating team banners. I watched little Duck walk around the school with his big buddy, who helped him at recess to play with other kids who did not always include him. I saw groups of students create creative and viable advertising campaigns to promote agencies like Dreams Take Flight. I watched students gain an understanding of different aspects of the Olympics and the joy of each team as they cheered their Olympic cheers during our final medal presentations. During my second Reading Week, I worked with grade 7 students who explored the rights of children. Each group of students had a UBC buddy from around the world. Together, they created activities for kindergartens to experience what it was like to be without basic children's rights. Activities like making toys out of water bottles, learning simple concepts in a classroom where there was nothing on the walls, and playing games made out of little or nothing. My grade 7 students laughed about haggis. We had a Scottish buddy, and she talked funny, and they just killed themselves laughing every time she came in. They learned how to speak some phrases in Korean and German. Their UBC buddies enjoyed themselves so much that 3 of them continued to come on a weekly basis until, unfortunately, they had to return to their own countries way too soon. So I charge you to open their eyes, show them what is possible, have fun, play with them, respect them, inspire them, spark them, encourage them, kindle their interests, all the while showing these wonderful children kindness and understanding. They are our future. Thank you.
Thank you, Birgid. That was really great. Thank you so much. So again, just a round of applause. Truly fortunate to have 2 such dynamic speakers today to help kick us into our second decade of Reading Week. Louise really spoke about the importance of reflection and partnership, to work creatively and grapple with complexity. And Birgid really spoke very eloquently about being open, recognizing your role as that of inspirational and buddy and terms like that. And both are extremely important messages. And I think both really touched on themes of renewal, evolution, resilience, impact, growth, and the changes to come for you and for those that you're going to affect during the 3 days that you're doing Reading Week. So maybe it's because I hold a bachelor's in history. Go arts majors. Yes, we should cheer for the arts majors. Or because I'm just wired this way. But when I listened to them, I was reminded that it's really important to look back before we look forward, to remind ourselves of the instances where we've garnered knowledge and understanding outside of the classroom in locations we might not have expected it to exist. To consider how that informed our perspective on the world, on us personally, on the discipline we chose to study, on our ability to succeed, persevere, to be who we are, and to think about the effect, intended or not, we have on someone else. So really go into this 3 days recognizing you will have an impact. Everything you do will have an impact. You may not have an intentional impact, but you will have an impact. So that's a really important message to remember. And I think finally, none of us goes into this experience as an expert. None of us comes out an expert, but the experience we have adds to our history, adds to who we are, it adds to our richness of who we want to become. So really enjoy it. So I welcome you to enjoy that.